Well, just like that, our year in the Junior World Rally Championship is over at the finish of the EKO Acropolis Rally Greece. I guess on the championship perspective, obviously not the result we wanted out of Greece. We knew it was going to be a really tough rally coming into it, and yeah, unfortunately, I guess we had some issues and things that held us back and meant that we couldn't get the ultimate result this year. But I guess to start with, I have to say a massive well done to Romit and Sim for winning the championship. I mean, they were really a class act this year, and yeah, they were the class of the field. They were super quick all year, all the events we went to. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do in the Rally 2 car next year. For us, yeah, like I said, tough event. I suppose obviously unfortunate because I was really looking forward to the rally. I knew it was going to be rough and tough, and I was looking forward to kind of taming that challenge. We had a really good pre-event test, but I suppose when I look back now, the test road we used was actually, the road was quite good, but it just didn't have the roughness that we faced in the rally. But I don't think anything can really prepare you for that until you get there and you do it yourself, I suppose, because the roads get so destroyed by the Rally 1 cars, and the roughness is really unlike anything I've ever seen before. We went to Sardinia this year and we thought this is quite rough, but when we come to Greece, all of a sudden Sardinia doesn't seem so rough. So it's really really incredible and really difficult actually to describe to someone, the sort of conditions we faced. It's really, I guess, something you can't believe until you see, and even you watch the videos and it doesn't look that rough. So yeah, nevertheless, the recce was really, really challenging. A 3-day recce for this rally as opposed to the normal 2 days that we do for all the other rallies we did this year. So super long, covered loads of kilometers. I think on the first day of recce was something like 15 hours and probably even longer by the time we finished watching the videos of the evening and this sort of thing. So actually the strain on the body and I guess in the brain as well was really starting to go down from the first day, I suppose. So yeah, really long, really tough recce and actually really difficult to make pace notes on these style of roads, because some places the road was so rough. We're just using rental cars for the recce, so it's nothing special, but some places the roads were so rough and rocky it was actually difficult to write the notes because you had to spend more time focusing on just keeping the rental car on the road and out of trouble. So that was quite a new challenge, I suppose, or a unique challenge that we've never really faced before. But actually in the end I was pretty happy with the notes. I suppose I sort of had to make it up a little bit on the run because, like I said, I'd never seen conditions so rough, and in previous rallies I've used the word rough in my pace notes if it's rough, but when the whole thing is rough and then you have like a worse section, all of a sudden you need to put a new perspective on what things we need to slow down for. And also we faced like some strange circumstances that I've never really seen before in a Rally 3 car, where some big dips and holes and this sort of thing, where I guess we didn't know how the car was going to react. So of course we made the notes a bit more to the safer side and then just had to adjust on the fly. But yeah, it was definitely a unique challenge though. To start the rally, I suppose the approach going into it was just survive, especially after the recce and after seeing the roads. We just knew that if we could get through this rally and spend as little time stopped on the stages as possible, then we could be in for a good result. And yeah, try to get to the end with no punctures and that sort of thing. And we knew it was going to be a challenge, and also we knew before the rally that it was not going to be the most enjoyable rally. The roads in Greece, like, quite frankly, aren't that enjoyable to drive in a Rally 3 car, because of how rough and bony they are. But actually the enjoyment, I would say, more came from being able to take on the challenge. And some stages we got to the end and I was almost like laughing just because it's just so unbelievable, the roads that we drove down. So for me, actually, that was where the fun came in, because it's not really like a rally like Finland or Sweden where you get really great satisfaction from driving, because you're just bouncing all over the road basically and hoping to stay out of trouble. And some places you really just have to close your eyes and smash over the rocks and hope you make it to the other side. But like I said, being able to get through that without incident, that was where the enjoyment factor of this rally came in. So really like strange rally for the head, I suppose, because I've never really, I guess, had anything like that before. The first day started pretty okay. Our plan, like I said, was just to get through cleanly, get through smartly. I I'd already said before the rally that I wouldn't be disappointed to lose, big chunks of time to start with, just to see how the rally plays out. There's no point to obviously go gun ho from the start and then fly back down to the bottom of the leaderboard with an issue. So yeah, we started basically at exactly the pace I was aiming for on the first two stages, where we were losing substantial amounts of time to the guys in front, but also the guys in front were quite quickly having small issues and punctures starting to creep in and that sort of thing. So we were holding a pretty steady third position, floating around from fourth to second basically for the Friday, and then basically I tried to just turn it up slightly on the last stage of the day, because actually on the first pass of that stage I'd lost, say, quite a bit more time than I was expecting. I guess just being a little bit too careful, which is a really difficult balance to find at this sort of rally. So I tried to push a little bit more, and straight away I got a puncture on the front left.
Taylor, the splits had looked so good as well before that front left puncture. What's happened in there? Did you feel you hit anything?
Oh, I mean, there was about a hit on every second corner, so yeah, it's anyone's guess. But no, there was one big hit on the left front, and then maybe a K or two after it, then straight away puncture. So yeah, anyway, it's a shame, but it's not over yet. How much did we lose?
I'm not sure. Last I spent about 10 seconds last I checked, but that was the split before, so probably a bit more than that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a bit more than that. But anyway, still a long day tomorrow, so it's not over yet.
So I think it came from basically a hit where the road went from gravel to cobblestone, and there was a big sort of step up, I suppose. So yeah, I took one really big hit on the left, but again, it's a bit hard to tell because there's hits everywhere, So that, I guess, put a bit of a dampener on the day, but we didn't have to stop and change. We drove to the end of the stage and we lost about a minute 20. So, again, if you were in maybe a Finland or a Sweden, then that would be quite a big time loss. But in Greece, when anything can happen, I knew that we were still well and truly in it, and the game wasn't over yet. So again, though, it was a strange sort of feeling at the end of Friday, because I didn't know whether to be satisfied or not, because we made it to the end of the day with relatively no issues. Okay, one puncture, but that was it. So on that side, it was successful, but every stage we were losing big chunks of time to the fastest guys, but we were still in the top couple, because people were having issues straight away. So it's really difficult to know whether to be satisfied or whether to be happy with the day or not, because ultimately we, let's say, didn't have the speed, but we also knew that the speed wasn't really the key. So tricky sort of day, and we went into the Saturday, which we knew was going to be super long. No midday service, only a tyre fitting zone. Also, just a long day in the car. We left the service park maybe 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30, something like this, and didn't get back until after midnight. So really crazy day on that side. And again, it started just trying to get through cleanly, and we had a couple of tidy stages. Again, we were not the fastest crew. Actually, there was one stage where I was able to sort of push a little bit, but still the pace was not really there relative to the fastest guys. But still we were in the fight already. The first stage in the morning, we picked up a position because of a puncture in front of us for one of the other crews. So we knew that was going to be the theme of the day, and we had some of the roughest stages coming up, and we went into the ninth stage of the rally, which I knew was going to be one of the roughest of the rally, and in the end it turned out to probably be the roughest, especially on the second pass. So yeah, we were getting through and actually having a pretty clean stage, and then basically coming a twisty section down the hill, really narrow, gnarly sort of road coming downhill. And basically I'd been driving the whole weekend at a speed where I knew that if there was a big rock on the line, that I would be able to sort of adjust my line in the car and avoid it. I came into a slow right-hander, and I faced this exact scenario, massive rock on the line, like the size of a backpack sitting on the road. And I saw the rock. I managed to move the wheels around it, but it was basically so big that it hit directly onto the rear suspension arm, which then bent straight away. So
right 3 opens 20 and a tight 7 in 2, half left 4, half left 4 in 2, right 2 through dip 60.
yeah, I suppose this was a unfortunate issue, of course, but it's a little bit just one of those things that can happen at this sort of rally. And it doesn't matter how strong your car is, and the Rally 3 is a strong car, but when you take a rock basically directly onto a suspension arm, there's nothing you can really do. So we got to the end of the stage still, and actually the time was not so bad when we considered that we'd driven maybe 5 kilometers with this rear arm sort of bent like a banana. But we knew with no service we had to try and get it through the whole rest of the day, which was going to be a challenge. And especially when we got to the end of the stage, we noticed that the arm was actually cracked as well as bent. So we knew it was going to be a tall order to get the car to the end of the day. But yeah, we never gave up and just tried to keep getting through. We did one whole stage, actually the shortest stage of the rally, or the shortest proper stage of the rally, with this arm bent, and we got through actually relatively cleanly, I suppose. Of course, we lost a bit of time, but the car still held on, and we got to the end of the stage and the arm had gotten no worse. So we tried to sort of just hold that pace through the following stage, which was, I would say, the roughest of the rally. And yeah, unfortunately, maybe 2/3 of the way, or 1/3 of the way, into the stage, the arm broke completely, which I guess was to be expected, to be honest, because I was driving relatively slowly, trying to nurse the car. But this had its own consequence, because some of the hits, I think, were even harder when we were driving slower. So I think, irrelevant of how fast or slow I would have driven, there's no way the suspension arm would have held on. And yeah, we stopped to try and repair it, and we were sort of able to strap it back together and limp to the end of the stage. And I think there were a few shots floating around of us absolutely crabbing the car towards the end of the stage.
Taylor, I'm sure you can feel you could write a book about today. What happened in there?
Yeah, just we had a small issue on this stage in the first pass with one of the rear control arms, and yeah, it was too rough for the car to hold on. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Gotta go.
But fair play though, the car held on and we were able to get to the end of the stage. And I think the sketchier part was we had to drive some maybe 160 kilometers on the freeway to get back to the service park with a rear wheel, moving like this and barely hanging on. So it's quite sketchy, the things you do. But at the end of the day, we had 4 freely rotating wheels and tyres, and we were able to do it and get back to the service, albeit we had to do a super special stage basically halfway on the drive back, which involved a few donuts and things. And it was a bit embarrassing because I couldn't really use the handbrake, but also I couldn't reverse, because if I wanted to reverse, the wheel would push into the guard. So yeah, it was a bit embarrassing, I suppose, but it was also quite humorous trying to get around the super special and having to do a 5-point turn to get around all the donuts. And yeah, it was pretty unspectacular, but we made it through. That was what we had to do. And I was, I guess, proud of the fact that we never gave up, and we drove the car all the way back to the service like that. And okay, it was a long day, and I knew that our hopes at the championship were gone by that stage. So, there was almost nothing more to do than just laugh and enjoy the rest of the experience. So yeah, the Sunday actually started pretty okay. We were having a relatively nice stage, and it was probably one of the smoothest stages of the rally. So you could really sort of push and attack a bit more. And then, yeah, unfortunately that one got stopped when we were halfway through, and then then we had again one of the roughest stages of the rally to round the event out. So all in all, a really tough event. We've got the proper Greek experience, super hot all day, all 3 days. The whole week we were here, it was 30, 35 degrees plus. So yeah, really tricky conditions, for the body and everything. And like I said, really long days as well. So yeah, tough rally, but I'm looking forward to hopefully tackling it again. We've learned so much from the event that it's one of those rallies that now I wish I could go back the week after and do it again. So yeah, anyway, that aside, like I said, obviously we couldn't get the result for the championship. We were fourth in the end with the championship, but ultimately this year was about learning, about gaining the experience, and just trying to finish all the events which we managed to do. So we can be proud of that. To win in Finland is obviously something super special and something I'll forever be proud of. Also, our podium in Croatia is a massive highlight. Almost rates as high, let's say, as winning in Finland, because we have such little tarmac rallying experience. So yeah, that was really special, and yeah, just all the experience and to have the opportunity for Dan and myself to do these legendary rallies in the Junior World Rally Championship with the FIA support and the Rally Star program is, I'm still pinching myself to even be over here and doing it. So yeah, it was just everything else that happened around it was a bonus. So yeah, I have to say massive thanks to the FIA and also to all my sponsors in Australia. Everyone that has chipped in and helped us be able to prepare for these rallies, and it's really given us a chance to fight at the front of the championship. Dan did a really fantastic job all year. For him also, all his first time doing all these rallies, and some really tricky rallies for the co-drivers as well. Rallies like Croatia and of course Rally Finland are super demanding on the co-drivers, and he didn't drop the ball at all the whole year. So yeah, I'm super proud of him as well, and his development as a co-driver across the year, and the two of us are really working well in the car. So yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing that, and hopefully giving it another red hot crack next year. So yeah, I have to say again a massive thanks to everyone for the support. Thanks for all the messages and everything across the year, and yeah, hopefully we've done everyone proud, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Cheers.